Okay guys, so today we're going to be playing Subway Surfers while I tell you about my movie and its social issues that were represented through our conventions. So let's just log on in and let's get started. Okay, so first off, how does our product represent conventions? So a couple of things that we aimed towards were the last girl standing, and that was really done through Phoebe, who was more reserved and shy, played by Melissa. She was obviously more vulnerable, not only because she's a girl, but also because she was more quiet, more to herself. Even though she was with her friends, she still had that kind of nervous feel to her. So we did that through Bethany and Brianna having to be called home from their mom after finding out that there was a mass killer on the loose. So there's already danger being put into the scenario. So they go home, they tell, Bethany tells Phoebe, oh, lock your doors. And now Phoebe's alone in this house with no parents, and she's really scared. So she's not only vulnerable and reserved, so she won't be fighting back. She's also a girl, and in media, in movies and in Hollywood, for years now, decades really, have presented women and girls as being vulnerable, as they can't fight back, and they're seen as more weak when compared to men who are typically presented to hold their own, and they can fight back, and they're not really in danger more as much as girls. So we used the last girl standing. They were all vulnerable. It was an all-girl cast, so that also contributed to it, because there were no men or boys around to kind of protect them in a way that has been represented throughout all of media. Also, that's how our product also challenges conventions, because in the beginning scene, we obviously know, well, we can pretty much infer that the killer is one of the girls that used to be friends with them in their friend group. So the killer's a woman or a girl, high school teen girl. So, and in most, all, if not all, slasher horror films, the killer or the bad guy, the villain, they have all been males, like Freddy Krueger, Jason, Michael Myers, all of them have been males. So that kind of challenges that, because we kind of strayed away from the conventional, oh, girl is alone, she gets taken by a guy. Instead, now it's girl is still alone, but instead of her facing a man, she's gonna be facing not only a girl, but a girl she did used to know. So that kind of went against typical media nowadays. And how it represents social groups is that we try to do this through the outfits. So we wanted to represent a friend group with differing personalities, but they still kind of had that bonding to them that made them friends. So that's why Phoebe, who was played by Melissa, she wore a long sleeve and pajama pants, since it was going to be a slumber party. She wore a long sleeve pajama pants, and she was more quiet. She didn't really speak out, while Bethany, she was probably the most, you can probably tell, they are all in high school, so you could tell that she was more outgoing, kind of more a little confrontational. That's why we had her this was played by myself, and so her hair was put up in a high ponytail to show, she's a little stuck up, and kind of more, she's kind of freewheeling in a way, more that she doesn't care about other things than herself. That's why also the scene started off with her telling a story about herself. So, and then her sister, it was kind of like polar opposites. She was more chill, laid back. She wore black pants, while Bethany wore pink and white, two bright colors that could represent her personality. But Brianna was more chill, more laid back. When she found out there was danger, she didn't really overreact. She was more, she was nervous, but Phoebe was like super scared. but Brianna reported the news and Bethany was just like, okay, forget about it. So that's pretty much shows why Phoebe was the last one to be standing, because she was more nerdy, so that's portrays somebody as to be more empathetic. You know, they don't only care about themselves, and that's why she was the most vulnerable one to be taken. So that's why we chose to do it like that. Also, how does it represent issues? So we can obviously tell that this killer, who used to be part of the friend group, she feels that she was left out, she was bullied, maybe she might have been jealous of somebody. So that could have been a thing that it represents bullying in this friend group, because the three of them stayed together and she was kind of pushed out. You know, they kind of didn't see her as one of them anymore. Why? That's also why we just had Bethany say, oh, why do you still wear that, to Phoebe from their friendship bracelet. And obviously Phoebe's the one who still wears it because she's more empathetic. And Bethany was just like, oh my god, forget about her. So that represents bullying and, you know, kind of feeling like an outsider. And that this ex-friend, we never do see her face, but this ex-friend resorted to, you know, just getting her revenge on these girls who she used to have a history with, that she currently has a history with. And I just died. So I guess that would be it. Maybe next time I'll be playing another game. I don't know. You should tune in. So thank you guys for watching.